Hey y'all, and welcome back to another session of Tori Lane trial. Her mother and her grandmother is going to take the stand, okay? And you'll hear from uh you'll find out in this case in this portion right here that this is her this is Tori father mother who's going to speak, okay? Here we go. And this is for news reporting purposes and criticism coming in.
All right, state, call your next witness, please. Miss Lane, when you come around, watch, there's a couple of steps for me. And when you're up there, get seated comfortably in the chair and pull yourself directly in front of the microphones for me, please.
Just like you raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter now pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, the truth, help you God. Make sure you say all your answers out loud into the microphone so that everyone can hear us.
Yes, sir.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is Tanya Lane. I am Tori Lane's grandmother and guardian.
At any point, did Tori live with you?
Yes.
When did Tori live with you?
Some years in elementary, some years in middle school, well, about a year or so in middle school, and some years in her high school.
And what kind of person was Tori?
She was a magnet. You were automatically drawn to her. She was very high-spirited, very creative. She just was... It's really hard to describe a person like Tori because she had so many beautiful qualities about her. She was very generous, very generous. She was very compassionate. Even from a baby, we were Katrina survivors. And we were sitting on the steps and mother was crying. And she was only 2.5, well, she was about to be 3. And she rubbed mother's back and she just kept saying, "It's gonna be okay, grandma." And everybody was shocked because like, she's not even 3 yet. But at an early age, you could see she was a very compassionate child and very smart. Very smart. Tori was very intellectually inclined. Very. Tori was an AP student that tutored other AP students.
When was the last time that you saw Tori?
The last time I saw Tori was the Saturday. No. The Monday before we lost her. Let's see, That Wednesday, yeah, it had to be that Monday. That Monday before we lost her.
And in the day, well, did Tori have a car?
Yes.
At the time?
Yes.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Nissan.
Who owned the Nissan?
Well, the vehicle was in my name, but it actually was for Tori.
So it was titled in your name?
Yes.
We'll show you States Exhibits 6 and 7. What are States Exhibits 6 and 7?
Yes.
What are they?
These are the papers for the car.
Are States Exhibit 6 and 7 photocopies of the title to the Nissan Versa that Tori drove?
Yes.
Are these true and accurate depictions of the title to that vehicle?
Yes.
Your Honor, stay with tender States Exhibit 6 and 7.
All right, 6 and 7 are admitted without objection.
And who is listed as the owner of the Nissan Versa that Tori drove?
I am.
What color was it?
Blue.
As far as you know, was Tori driving that vehicle in the days leading up to her death?
Yes.
Did you know the defendant, Austin Ford?
Yes.
Did you at any point give Austin Ford permission to drive the car that was titled in your name?
No, I did not.
Did at any point Austin Ford make any effort to return the vehicle to you after Tori was killed?
No.
I can rephrase, Your Honor.
All right, the objection is sustained. Please rephrase your question, please.
Did you receive any contact from the defendant regarding the car after Tori was killed?
No. No, sir, I did not.
That's all the questions I have, Ms. Lane. The other Mr. Lewis may have some questions.
Okay.
Ask questions from the defense.
Yes, Judge. Ms. Lane, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Lawrence Lewis. I don't think we've ever spoken. Have we ever spoken before?
No, we have not.
Fantastic. If I ask you a question that you don't understand, it's probably me. Just let me know, and then I'll rephrase the question so that you and I are on the same page, okay?
Okay.
Fantastic. All right, let me start here. Are you Tori's maternal grandmother or paternal grandmother?
Paternal.
Paternal grandmother. So you're Tori's father's mother.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Tori graduated from high school in 2020, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Where did she attend high school?
Stevenson High School.
Stevenson. In DeKalb, right?
Yes.
During the time when Tori was in high school, where did you live?
In Lithonia on Phillips Place, where I am right now.
Pretty close to Stevenson High School, is that right?
Yes.
All right. And where did Tori's mother live?
About maybe 10 minutes away from me.
Okay, good. And so you and Tori's mother and Stevenson are all relatively close in the same area, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All of those are the precursor questions because I thought I heard you say that Tori lived with you for a period of time when she was in high school. Do you recall saying that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did Tori sort of go back and forth between your house and her mom's house, or did she just sort of come with you for a fixed 2 or 3 months and then she went back to live at her mom's house?
No. Sometimes it was like I say, years. Later on, like when she got older in high school, she may stay with me for a year, stay with them for a year, then stay with me for a year.
Okay.
I mean, we weren't like next door neighbors, but we lived close enough to where she could do that.
I got you. So let me take a step back. For the 4 years of high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, did she live more with you or with her mother?
4 years, I would have to say her mother and father.
Okay, good. And when she came to stay with you, was it because she wanted to spend time with you, or she needed a break from her own parents, or you needed her to care for you? When she came to stay with you, whether it was for a month or 6 months, generally what prompted her coming to stay with you?
Well, she did take care of me. I give her that. But I think the main reason she came around because she and we had a bond. We had a bond, and we were like best buddies, I guess you might call it.
Okay.
You know, I mean, a grandmother is just another mother that you could get away with most stuff. You know, that's just, yeah.
After high school, did Tori live with you at any point in time after high school?
Yes.
How, she, as I understand it correctly, she graduated in 2020, and then she went missing approximately 14 months after she graduated. Am I right in that assessment?
Yeah, that's approximately right.
Okay.
Yeah.
During that 14 months, in between the time she graduated and she went missing, about how many of that did she spend? It's a lot of different questions, but it's the same question.
It's okay.
Did she live with you most of that time, or did she live with her mother most of that time?
I would say half and half.
Half and half.
Yeah.
When she lived with you, was she working?
Yes, always working.
Fantastic. What type of work do you recall her doing when she lived with you?
Oh, God, she had so many jobs. She worked for DTLR, Downtown Locker Room. She worked for Zaxby's. She had another job. I can't remember what it was, though. But anyway, she did. She was always working.
And it sounds like she might have been working more than one job at a time. Is that fair?
Sometimes when she finished, after she graduated, she did. She was a go-getter.
Okay. During the time that she lived with you, would Austin Ford come around and hang out with her at your home?
Not in my home. I recall them being outside in the car, but I never recall him being in my home.
Right. So Austin wasn't the type of person that would come up and sort of ring your doorbell because he knows you got sweet potato pie there for Thanksgiving and he's going to invite himself in for a pizza.
No, it wasn't like that. I mean, if I had stuff like that, he'd probably tell your grandma, get a piece of pie from your grandma or something, but he never came in.
Okay, but that pie would come out as opposed to him coming in.
Absolutely.
I got you. As you describe her, Tori seemed to be, in your estimation, a very empathetic person. Is that correct?
Yes.
And as you describe her, she also appears to be a very sensitive person. Is that
yes.
correct? Thank you very much, Ms. Lang.
Any redirect?
There you go.
Right, and is Ms. Lang excused so that she can remain in the courtroom if she wishes?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any objection to that, Judge.
All right, thank you, Ms. Lang. Watch your step coming down, and you're free to remain in the courtroom if you wish. Take your time. All right, call your next witness, please.
Deputy Santa Maria.
All right, sir, if you watch your step coming around for me, if you will get seated comfortably in the chair and pull yourself directly in front of the microphone for me, please.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter now and before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, help you God.
I do.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is Jonathan Santa Maria.
How are you employed?
I'm employed currently with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office as a deputy.
And are you a post-certified law enforcement officer?
I
In August of 2021, how were you employed?
was employed with the DeKalb County Police Department.
What were your basic duties with the DeKalb County Police Department? Then, 21.
Anything reference to 911, emergency calls, anything in that exact matter, assisting public traffic violations, everything in that state of mind.
Uniform patrol?
Correct.
uniform, gun belt, badge of office?
Yes, sir.
And did you drive a marked car?
I did.
On August 1st of 2021, was there something called your attention in nature preserve in DeKalb County?
Yes.
What was the nature preserve?
It was the Hidden Acres National Park located at 1032 Stevenson Road.
And that's in fact in DeKalb County.
Correct. It's near the Lithonia area.
And what was it that was called your attention there on August 1st, 2021?
I was dispatched to what is referred to as an abandoned vehicle call, with the complainant being a park ranger with DeKalb County on scene calling in reference to it.
Show you what's marked as State Exhibit number 8. Which previously shown council.
Oh, yes, there's no objection, Judge.
Thank
What
you.
is State's Exhibit number 8?
That would be the exact car that I went out on at the national park.
Is that a true and accurate depiction of the abandoned car you responded to August 1st, 2021?
Correct.
Your Honor, I tender State's Exhibit 8.
The defense has indicated they have no objection, so it's admitted without objection.
Deputy Secretary, is this the condition that the abandoned vehicle that you were dispatched to August 1st, 2021 was in?
It was.
Were you able to determine anything about this vehicle?
The only thing that I was given information was that the family was in search of the victim's vehicle, which was a light blue Nissan Versa. I couldn't find any identifying VIN numbers or license plate to do a records check on to get any sort of match of it, but I did search around the vehicle and I did find a Nissan emblem, and I did my own search on my computer to look up what the exact shape of a Nissan Versa was, and I couldn't 100% confirm, but it did appear to be what a Nissan Versa was.
And was it in exactly this condition when you used that vehicle?
Correct.
That's all the questions I have, Deputy. Thank you.
Any cross-examination?
Thank you, Judge. So I got Santa Maria, but what is it now? Is it deputy officer? What is it?
Right now it is Deputy Santa Maria.
Deputy Santa Maria. So that's what I'm going to work with. Good afternoon. You and I haven't spoken before, so if I ask you a question, you don't understand the question, you just let me know, and then I'll try to rephrase it, okay?
Okay.
I'm glad the prosecutor left this photo up there for me. When you responded to the call, did you respond to a car burning or a car burnt?
I responded to an abandoned vehicle call.
Okay, good. And of course, when you arrived there, this car appeared to be burned and abandoned. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Okay, you're not an arson expert, but anybody can see that it was burned. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Is it fair to also say, as I look around it, the vehicle appeared to have been burnt at that spot as opposed to burned someplace else and then brought to that spot? Is that fair to say based on what you saw surrounding the vehicle?
From what I saw.
Good. So it appears that the vehicle was set ablaze at that location and then abandoned. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Was there any, did you check to see if there was any reports of anyone claiming to see anything burning?
No.
Okay, so we don't know when the vehicle was burned, but it appears the vehicle was burned and was burned at the location where you were called to investigate abandoned vehicle. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And where you located this vehicle is about a half a mile away from Stevenson High School. Is that fair to say?
Give or take.
Then the overall body shape appears to be the body shape of a Nissan Versa. Is that right?
Yes.
Does it have any body shape of any other type of vehicle?
Could.
Okay. Assuming it's a Nissan Versa for a moment, were you able to pull any VIN whatsoever off of it?
No.
Okay, so there's no VIN, no license, no identifying marks to say that this Nissan Versa in the photo is the Nissan Versa associated with this certificate of title. There's no identifying marks that can match the marks. Is that fair to say?
From what I investigated on scene, no.
Thank you very much. No further questions, Reverend.
Redirect.
What was the disposition of this vehicle after you found it?
While I was on scene, I made contact with the Gwinnett County Police Department. I made contact with the Sergeant Johnson, who him and a few other officers arrived on scene. Based on their depiction, they ended up towing it away to their yard for further investigation on their part.
And as far as looking for a VIN, did you conduct a complete and total search for a VIN, or did you just look at a couple places where you thought a VIN might be?
I looked in a couple places where a VIN would be located on the exterior of the vehicle. I did not go interior.
Thank you, Deputy. That's all I have.
Recross.
Very briefly, the person that appears in the picture, is that Gwinnett County?
From what I could tell, I believe that is
Gwinnett County.
correct. That is not a DeKalb County police officer. That would be a Gwinnett County police officer.
Just based on the uniform.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
All right. And then Deputy Santa Maria, you are excused from any further appearance.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can step down. Just take your personal items. Be careful. Go stairs. All right. Please call your next witness.
Investigator Sherwood.
All right, sir, please watch your step coming around. And if you will be seated comfortably in the chair and position yourself directly in front of the microphone for me, please.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter not pending before the court, so be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Investigator Jason Stribling,
Investigator Strickland, how are you employed?
Gwinnett County Arson.
And are you a post-certified police officer?
I am.
What are your basic duties with Gwinnett County Arson?
It's to investigate any suspicious fires or fires that the fire department cannot determine the cause and origin of.
And is there any specific educational training that you have performed with you?
Yes, other than being a peace officer as well as a certified firefighter, we're required to take 2 8-hour courses at the Georgia Public Safety Training Center on arson investigation. Furthermore, different private organizations, International Association of Arson Investigators, we are both fit with fire investigation technician certification. And then after roughly 4 years, you can test out for your certified fire investigator, which is what I've recently done last year.
And did you have any participation in the investigation of a vehicle that was located at the Gwinnett County Police Department that had been found burned?
Yes, sir.
Was this in August of 2021?
Around that time, yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about what you found and what you did.
I was requested to come out and look at this vehicle. It had already been moved from, I believe, DeKalb County over to the Gwinnett County PD lot. They were wanting some direction on how to potentially take samples from the vehicle to try to determine how the fire originated.
Whom did you assist in taking samples to determine how the fire originated?
The crime scene technicians on scene.
In your knowledge, training, experience, what can be determined by taking the samples and testing the samples?
Depending on the type of fire and what type of samples you're taking, you can determine if an accelerant is, in fact, or was used in the vehicle from the samples that you're taking.
Is an accelerant required for a fire to burn or burn hot?
Not at all.
It showed you States Exhibits 9 through 14. What are States Exhibits 9 through 14?
These are pictures of the vehicle as it was sitting in the crime scene tech lot.
Are those photos of both the interior and exterior?
Yes, sir.
are they true and accurate depictions of the vehicle that you observed on August 1st, 2021 or thereabout?
Yes, sir.
You understand what tender states exhibits 9 through 14.
All right, states 9 through 14 are all admitted without objection.
Now, I'm first going to show you what has already been admitted as States Exhibit 8. Did you go out on a scene in DeKalb County related to the finding of the vehicle?
No, sir.
Based on your knowledge, training, experience, and observing this photo, is there anything you can tell about this vehicle and its location?
It was burned in the location site. It obviously wasn't dumped there. Does appear to be potentially a interior fire due to some of the oxidation patterns on the vehicle.
So when you say an interior fire, what does that mean to the average person?
Inside of the passenger compartment of the vehicle.
And what fuel for a fire would be in the interior of a motor vehicle?
Just about anything, plastics, any type of clothing materials, the carpeting of the vehicles, the foam in the seats, and whatever else anybody would keep in a vehicle or would put in a vehicle.
And as long as there is oxygen and fuel for the fire, what will the fire do?
And as long as you have fuel, oxygen, and a heat source, you have a fire that will continue to burn.
And will it burn until it runs out of fuel?
Yes, sir.
Show you I'm showing what's been admitted to States Exhibit number 9. Describe to the jury what we're looking at.
Small SUV that was in the Gwinnett County PD crime scene lot or bay. Excuse
Why
that.
do you have the
Were you able to, or did you attempt to identify this vehicle, where it came from, or what it was, or anything like that?
That was not the scope of my assistance to Gwinnett County PD. They requested me to just assist trying to take samples from this vehicle.
Did you in fact do that?
Yes, sir.
And this is States Exhibit number 10. Is this just another angle of the same vehicle?
Yes, sir. Driver's side front.
I'm going to move on. Maybe. To what's been admitted as States Exhibit number 11. What is States Exhibit 11?
That's an interior shot of the vehicle.
What does this shot of the vehicle tell you as an arson investigator?
It's a complete burnout of the vehicle, obviously. The majority of, again, the plastics, any type of cloth inside the vehicle have been consumed by fire. Again, you see some heavy oxidation to the doors, kind of indicating that the fire would have occurred on the inside of the passenger compartment.
And does this appear to be the front passenger of the passenger?
It appears to be the pointing at the driver's seat if you look against that doorway.
And so all of the plastics, fabrics, cushioning appears to be burned away.
Yes, sir.
Once this fire ran out of things to consume, would it have basically just gone out?
It would have snuffed itself out as long as fuel, oxygen, or the heat source is taken from it. Fire doesn't exist anymore.
Does this type of fire, this type of complete burn, leave anything behind?
It can distort evidence. It depends on what you're looking for. Organic material typically will burn away. Metals, things of that nature, will obviously still be there depending on the type of metal.
Are you familiar with things being burned in fires?
Oh, yes, sir.
I know it sounds absurd. What about firearms?
Yes, sir.
What about firearms that are composites of metal and polymer?
Yes, sir. You would still have items. The barrel, the slide, typically on those firearms are steel in nature, so they would still be left behind. Some of the springs on the guide rod, things of that nature, would still be there.
To your knowledge, was anything like that found in this vehicle?
That was not the scope of my search, but I do not believe they did while we were out there.
Thank you, Investigator Strickland. That's all I have.
Yes, sir.
All right, examination by the defense, please.
And it's fair to say, Investigator Strickland, no human remains were found in there. Is that fair?
No, sir. Again, not to my knowledge.
All right. And I only have a few questions. You're with Gwinnett County Arson, is that right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been with Gwinnett County Arson?
A little over 6 years.
It appears from your experience that the fire on the vehicle started internally. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
As I look at the photos, and of course the photos might fool me, but they're not going to fool you because you're the expert. Did the tires end up burning off the car too, the outside?
Yes, sir.
All of the rubber on the tires just burnt up.
Depending on how hot the fire gets, you're going to have a complete consumption. As a matter of fact, newer vehicles like the new F-150 will be just a pile of aluminum and then what's left of the engine.
It's going to be burnt all the way down to the frame.
Yes, sir. Could be.
Okay, and that leads me to two other interesting questions. One, unlike the movies, a car can burn down to the frame without ever exploding.
Oh, of course.
Okay, good. So the jury understands that. And did you see the photos of where the car was originally recovered?
Just today when they pulled them up.
Okay, and yes, here we go. State's Exhibit number 8. When you look at State's Exhibit number 8, and I didn't understand it, I didn't understand how a car could burn so hot to burn all the way down to the frame, but not catch any of the underbrush or the trees or anything. You see,
It in fact did in some of that area. You can see where it did start a brush fire. Not knowing what the weather conditions were at the time out there, wildfires, and depending on the foliage in the area, everybody burns leaves and things of that nature during the summertime, and they will stop if it is wet enough. That material can stop.
Fantastic. So the car could have burned hot enough to burn up completely, but not necessarily catch the trees near the car
Yes, sir.
fire. Is that right? Okay, I got it. That sort of depends on how much rain you've gotten and other weather conditions.
All the environmental conditions, yes, sir.
I got you. You were asked to take some samples, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when you took those samples, is it fair to say that you couldn't tell if an accelerant was used or not?
I do not know what the outcome was. We have the equipment to take samples for fire scenes, whereas the crime scene techs did not for GCPD.
Okay.
So we provided the equipment, helped them take the samples, and told them the vendor that we utilize for our testing, what they did with it beyond that, I'm unaware.
All right, so you came out as the expert in terms of these are the samples that you need to take.
Yes, sir.
But you're not here to testify as to what those samples may have revealed.
I have no clue what they revealed, no, sir.
I got you. As you looked at the inside of the vehicle, could you tell if it was an electrical fire or not?
No, sir. Again, I did not do a complete fire investigation on this vehicle. I was there completely in support of GCPD for their samples.
Have you investigated a car fire where there's been an electrical fire
Yes, sir.
inside the car? Does that electrical fire burn hot enough to burn up the entire inside contents of the vehicle?
It could, depending on how the fire originates and how it continues on.
Thank you very much. No further questions, Judge.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
All right, is Investigator Stribling excused from any further appearance?
No, Your Honor.
No objection, Judge.
All right, sir, you can step down. You are excused from any further appearance. All right, call your next witness.
Your Honor, that is all this witness, the state's witnesses are available afterwards.
All right, Members of the jury, it appears we're going to conclude a little bit earlier than our normal schedule for today. In just a moment, I will excuse you with a reminder of all of your precautionary instructions.
Okay.
Set aside the case.
All right, people. That end that segment of the trial. Now, when he was talking about the car, how a car burned, and how they can tell if it been burnt from the inside or outside. That interests me because it's amazing how they can tell if a car was burnt from the inside and outside. Um, we have heard from in this trial from all the witnesses, and she ended early, and I think that was it with the witnesses. So I don't think this court is going to last long. So we'll end it right here. Y'all leave what y'all think in the comment section, because we've been over here at Real Deal. Y'all don't remember, but we followed this. We've been following this course, but this is the first time, with the trials. Okay, y'all like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day. And I'm out.